And good afternoon, Jason Phillips from Appraise, autoappraise.com, starting up a video pre-purchase inspection on a 1975 Ford Thunderbird Copper Starfire. Super low miles car are represented to be. Is it? Let's see, huh? It's a beautiful factory metallic paint. I'll get under it first. A lot of people are representing original low miles vehicles on the market and want to know if it's true, so they send us out, look them over, magnet test them, hit them with the digital paint meter in some cases, and just go through the nooks and crannies and see what's real. If you need auto appraisal inspection service, call our office. We have 300 inspectors. Not everybody shoots videos. I do here in Michigan and northern Ohio and northern Indiana. So there's a quick peek at the overall car. 05058. Well, hit the pause button. Not uncommon to see some surface rust on the bottom side of the untreated components. That's why a lot of cars were sent out and undercoated in the day. And undercoating could be sketchy, hit some spots, miss others. Nature of the beast. Frame rail extensions on the front of the car both look just like that. No compression, no fractures, no fatigue. And the body bushings have the color crayon marks on them, letting them know as the car's going down the line that they got tightened up. Just a little bit of dry cracking in the forward arm bushings, but pretty stock original appearance with some light surface rust on the various components, control arms, tie rod ends, etc. Original leafs. Bottom of the oil pan actually has some original chalk marks on it, and what appears to be some undercoat overspray. It's kind of sticky. It's not really oil, but it looks like it, doesn't it? So all the suspension looks like that. Lower front core support doesn't have, well, it's actually the lower front frame mount assembly there doesn't have any collision damage. You can see the other rail extension looks great. Suspension looks the same. Let's move back to the floors. Quick peek before I move. Radiator and the air conditioning condenser. Front pockets and front sheet metal. Nothing looks new or replaced. A little bit of surface rust on some bolt heads, etc. Nothing alarming. Looks very original. Bottoms of the bumpers. The chrome is in really nice shape. So are the bumper rub strips. While I'm laying on my back, I'll take advantage. A little bit of oxidizing here that could be cleaned up. Nothing really horrific. The chrome finish is definitely OEM. This car came out of the Wixom, Michigan assembly plant November 9th, beginning of the second week, 1974. Got delivered to Cambridge, Ohio. Made its way out west, according to some of the paperwork I've seen. And again, there's some undercoat splash up on the pans. There's some surface peel on the trans pan. That's a C6. Some undercoat on the kind of the forward bell housing extension. It's actually all part of the same unit on a C6. There's no separate housing. And just a drop or two of oil out there at the rear main seal, but we've been here over 2.5 hours and nothing on the ground. And the car has run. Some exhaust repair up front, but this is an original exhaust system with original crossover or H-pipe, original ground strap. Not uncommon to see on a car with such low miles. A little bit of undercoat has peeled there in a spot, but that's not been repaired or fixed. Just kind of an anomaly. Inner rocker structure, you can see all the pinch welds up here look really nice and tight. Spot welds look great. Parking brake cable, all that stuff is just OEM original. mufflers were changed. But the rear resonators, not resonators, they've got original Ford part numbers on them. Nothing super wet back there at the tail shaft seal. Some undercoat you can see left over on the drive shaft when they sprayed the floors. Car's pretty well protected from underneath. I don't see any major leaks or concerns. I didn't see any frame damage or issues like that. Underneath the car, going driver side to passenger side, there is no difference. So I'll short the video a little bit just by, there's over 250 still photos for the potential purchaser to look over. There's some surface rust on the untreated parts again. And bumpers are in super nice shape in the back. No collision or compression damage. Undercoated gas tank. And then these rear resonators here have Ford part numbers on them. All along this inner structure looks great in the splash area. Telltale sign of rust, rot, and decay, and you can see nothing's been chewed up or rusted out there. Nothing bad happening. Original factory spot welds present. All original paintwork. Wheel splash areas, no patches. Everything looks like that. Ford spoked hubcaps, that was an upgrade. Simulated spoked wheel covers. And they all have the Ford Thunderbird emblems, and they have a little light patina. Nothing, no major curb scuffing or issues noted. Replacement all-season radials, those are older, but they got great tread. So there we have our underbody and our wheels and tires, exhaust, transmission, suspension, floors. All that stuff looks pretty good, pretty original. I often do an exploded view to kind of show the onlooker what I'm finding. And those of you who have seen many of my videos before know that I kind of get excited about low mileage original cars because they are kind of cool to discover. There's a couple 1/4-inch chips on top of the passenger fender we'll show, and a little bit of lacquer checking in the bumper closeout extension. A little tiny door ding right there. And other than some of these little gathering spots that are underneath the paint and some polishing scratches, there really isn't much to talk about on this paint. Copper Starfire paint is code 52. Very nice metallic single stage application. Body panel lines are just really nice for the period. Nothing unusual to talk about. Somebody probably dropped a wrench right there, bing bing, and there's 2 chips that could stand to be touched up, and a little chip right there and there. So those are those 2 spots. Less a little hairline, just polishing scratches, nothing you can really feel with the fingernail. The paint shows really well. Doesn't really need any work. These little spots are just kind of live with it type of scenario. I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of this inspection outside so the onlooker can get a better idea of what it looks like in real natural light, not just fluorescent light. Hey, could you go ahead and back this car out for me? Thank you. We're going to do a cold start right now. There's our brake lights, there's our reverse light. Side marker, side marker. We got one high beam out in the center. Brakes and turn signals working in the back. as they were pulling it outside, there was a couple other small spots I forgot to add to my exploded view early on. Little contamination on the paint right here, and it might actually clean up a little bit, and a little hairline scratch right by the hood ornament. Those little tiny marks, I'm not confident that they won't clean up, but there's a few little marks here and there. We'll get a nice up-close look at the lenses. These are $250 used if you can find a good one, and that was 10 years ago for a Lincoln. By the way, this was the better value of the day over the Lincoln's similarly equipped T-Bird, which this one is, equipped similar to a Lincoln with many of the same luxury packages. It's about $3,000 less in 1975. Bumper strips, grille, headlight bezels, really no excuses for the age that they are. Digital paint meter kind of made my life easy today. 4.0. Oh, I forgot the header panel doesn't test. 3.5. 3.5 to 4.5 is the thickness of a dollar bill. And 2.5 and 3.0 and 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. I have over 50 still photos all the way around the car. It's 2.5 to 3.0 everywhere. The buyer was concerned that maybe there was a mismatch of paint. And visually it's hard to tell on a car that's got so much color going on. You've got metallic color in the body and the contrasting color in those big wide body moldings, contrasting color in the copper vinyl top, they called that. So there's a lot going on, and difficult to get perspective on sometimes just through photos. But the color match is really pretty. Outdoors, I was eager to see it, and I don't see anything that that is alarming. Another one of those little kind of spots under the maybe a metallic gathering spot. The little door ding discussed was right here, the edge of my card. There's an extra set of OEM door handles in the box because there's a little bit of chrome crackage heading along right top bead of the door handle. Belt moldings are in very nice shape. Rubber seals all still show very nicely. I could not find a crack in this windshield, but for the record I'm going to say there's one. It's because I don't want to get caught not reporting it. There's a couple small marks, but they mostly look like wax, and I've went over it thoroughly and I cannot find one. I did not peel the stickers off. No real dings or dents in the roof. Over here there was some concern expressed by the potential purchaser, and again I will announce that most people who watch my videos know that this video is being shot for someone intending to purchase the car out of state, and it's not a public video until they make their decision. And this right here is what the potential purchaser was talking about. He was thinking that there was a color difference on this side of the car. He was worried about the door to the quarter or the door to the fender. And as you sit here and look at it, the upper portion of the door, it's questionable if there is a color shade difference there. If it is not aftermarket paint. And I will tell you why. This striping is uniform and level and even all the way across the panels. Doesn't look like it's been changed. I don't feel a tape line underneath or above where someone might have repainted above or below. And then lastly, the gauge never lies. 4.5 to 3.5, 4.0, 5.0, 3.0. You know, again, less than the thickness of a dollar bill. It's hard to spray paint in an aftermarket fashion that thin. Usually when you see paint sprayed in the aftermarket fashion, it's 12 to 20 mils thick on the gauge. But certainly that might be the point that the potential purchaser was talking about. That being said, the vinyl roof is in great shape. The deck lid has a little more surface coverage, which is common 8.0. 8.0. The gravity helps put a little more paint on the body as they're getting shot back in the day, but again, all these readings are available on still photos for the purchaser, 2.0 to 3.5. Here's a more distant shot to again help identify color match. My guess is if there was any paint work done, it was done in the factory. The jam paint looks real nice, and no visible signs of overspray in the door jambs. Or on the hinges, or on the bolts, or on the pins. Nobody's taped off the inner trim. But the jambs present really, really nice. All the seals are still in really nice shape. Original stickers, nice shape. I will jump to the interior. All the windows roll up and down as they should. No hash marks or roller marks indicating any major worn guides. There was one small mark, I think it was on this side. Let me look. Yeah, right here. And as I suspected, it came off. It looks like it came off, so hard to see everything inside. Door corners are in fabulous shape. No overspray on the latches. Covering a little bit of the low mileage speak. It's a beautiful, beautiful interior color combination. I am a bit enamored with it. Seatbelt nylon does not have any excessive wear. Though, who wore their seatbelts in the 70s anyway? Come on. I lifted up all the mats. We looked through everything. This is really the only broken or flawed piece in the car. And it's right there. It's the lens cover. It could be glued back in, or it might need to be replaced. Dashboard top, wonderful. Bezel. Gauge faces, clean, wonderful. Steering wheel free of cracks. We'll go through the power options here shortly. Power antenna, power windows, power lock, 6-way power seat, color keyed floor mats, interior lighting decor, AM, FM, 8-track. Just like Jim Boja sang about. Great musician out of Philadelphia. If you ever look him up, Jim Boja. Boja Music. Carpet kits are in really, really nice shape. Nobody's colored these or painted them or dyed them. I don't think anybody's sat in that back seat ever. Side panels, headliner, trim, etc. There's really nothing to remark or complain about. All the wood grain bezels, everything looks nice. Doors open and close with very little effort. Key buzzer works. Jams again, super nice carpet kit, really nice. At the entry point, just a little bit of light dirt. I don't think anybody's ever cleaned them. Small thread pull in the mat. Brake pedal. That picture can be frozen for a minute to steady. No reason to think there's more than 5,000 miles on it. No real arm sweat wear or forearm wear to speak of on the door panels. No excessive finger wear, sweat, or issues seen really on the main trim panel there for the windows and power seat switches, something that might be a little more worn with more mileage. Seat belt again, same condition. No scratches on the buckles. Pretty much no excuses. Let's pop the hood. Inside hood release, that was kind of a newer option. The manufacturer was afraid that someone was gonna hurry up and steal this 464 barrel 220 raging horsepower motor, so they put a interior hood lock on to keep that from happening. Well, this is an awesome engine bay. There's a lot to talk about, but I'll try to be brief. The video's getting long. Original crayon marks and original stampings on components. Original heater hoses with tall tower clamps. Valve cover stickers that haven't burned off stickers yet. D5AF 75. Look at this, all original color keyed vacuum lines. Paint daubs. Original dotted wiring. Overspray on the bypass hose, that is normal and correct, and on the dipstick. Again, more crayon marks and OK marks on the valve covers that are still mostly there. Original correct radiator cap. I even believe those numbered original Sipcon wires and Autolite plugs. Plugs may have been changed over the years, but the wires look original. Again, crayon marks on the firewall and the valve covers. So many other little, there's the daub showing that the master cylinder got filled up. It's still there. I noted that there was a sensor on the proportionary valve that's unplugged. I'll drive the car without it plugged in right here. Can you see it? And then I'll plug it in later and see what that tells us. There may be an idiot light on the dash. There's a crayon mark on the steering box. There's striped vacuum hoses. There are so many indications of originality. I saw the original stampings on the clutch fan. There's some corrosion on the side of the radiator tank. We'll look later and see if there's any leakage. And there's a little bit of seepage from the power valve on the carburetor is what it may look like. But the original plastic cap hasn't been cracked for carburetor adjustments. You can see the yellow caps down there. There's two of them. But there is a little drip of fuel. Core support's super clean, headlight buckets, everything looks really good. I showed the front frame rails earlier with no major issues. A few chips inside the jambs, but original star stampings present here on the front of the hood, so no paint work really to be discussed. The oil is up to snuff, proper level, could stand to be changed. It's a little bit dark. Transmission fluid looks original as well. Smells pretty good, but it smells old. I imagine it's original. And the antifreeze is nice and green and down right about to here, which is proper. The part of the convenience package was the under hood light, and that does not appear to be working. We're going to lose daylight here, so I'm going to get on the road and try to get the test drive in before this video gets much longer. This car is just, it's massive. It's almost 21 feet long, 225 inches I think was the overall length in 1975. Power trunk release operates. It came with the interior trunk dress-up kit. The spare is original. Jack and stand are in place. Door handles and a few extra parts, a few components that were thrown in, but the trunk's in really nice shape. The trim bezel is not broken, and the upper surface of the taillight closeout panel is in really great shape. And real quickly, I didn't go over the lenses in the back, but they are really wonderful. A little bit of lacquer checking right here in this bumper closeout panel, but it's very nominal. It's really kind of nitpicky to even say so, but it's fact. Trunk light, lips are really nice and solid. Jams are in really good shape. Again, no evidence of overspray that I can see. No evidence of any obvious overspray or tape marks here. There was a little inside the gas door, the unleaded only flapper. I think that was the first year or close to it for the EPA regulations, 74, 75. But no unusual tape lines here or here. The car's got some water stains. As the sun goes down, you can kind of see that it needs a little light detailing, but I don't think that's anything that cannot be addressed. Some custom emblems there. All right, let's head out. That sun visor's a little loose. Key forward, low fuel economy alternator engine. Let's see, brake, high beam, and fasten seat belts. That is not on. We'll check that wire harness in a minute and see what that's all about. The clock is in op. Got the delayed headlights. Door ajar light is on. There we go. Dual map lights. That one's out. Power windows. Delay wiper feature is operating. Blower's operating. Radio's coming on. Slides are all freely functioning. We'll turn the air on for a little while and turn on that electric de-icer in the back. There we go. Electric de-ice light is working. Dash lights are working. Alright, let's see what we got. The air conditioning is not kicking out cool or super cool. Power seat is working. Speedometer is operating. We are getting low fuel economy. Oh my gosh, you must be kidding me. Oh boy. This thing, this is a floating boat for sure, man. Super smooth, super quiet. Hands are off the wheel. I'm going to stop right now. The steering wheel is not moving in any dysfunctional manner. Brake pedal feels good. Give it another short run. These are consignment cars, and this place doesn't usually let us drive them, but I always try to take it out on the service drive here and at least get it for a roll down the road, see what it feels like. Accelerates nice, little bit of a cold stumble, but nothing unusual. There's 60 hands off the wheel again. Brakes don't have any real aggressive pulling one way or the other. Suspension's very tight, very quiet. No reason to believe that the miles on this car are not as represented. No cracks in the dash. if we're going to be able to set the cruise at this low speed or not. Oh, and we are. Cruise is working. The turn signals illumine on the inside, by the way. That one actually illumines the little divider that shadows it from the brake light is not maybe standing up, but the interior lights are all functioning. The power seat switches are working as designed. I just let it run another 5 or 6 minutes, pulled it back in the building, connected the little harness there that it doesn't seem to make a difference. I thought that brake light might go on when I first fired her back up. Such is not the case. Not sure why that is disconnected, but it's plugged in now. So the air conditioning is not blowing cool. Wipers are sweeping, radio is working. Power antenna is going up. Can you see it? It's going up. Power trunk release works. Nothing appears to be coming out on the after effect. No new visible leaks. I would say that if the buyer was looking for a really, really nice low mileage driver that appears to be just bone stock original. If any paint work was done on this, my guess is it was redone in the factory, not necessarily in the aftermarket world. It just doesn't look like it. It was probably done right at the time that the car was sent down the line, or maybe right after, but nothing obvious sticks out. The level of orange peel is consistent panel by panel, and I know this was the era that they did a lot of poor factory paint work. This is why we lost a lot of the domestic market. So there's a possibility there was some paint work done on it. Right there makes you kind of think maybe, but I don't know. It is so nice in every other way. I give it a Siskel and Ebert thumbs up. Okay, thanks for hanging out. Have a great day.